And I've gotten some tips, and hopefully you guys have learned some things too, but I'm just like, awesome. Check it out. Here at the First Tee, Northwest Arkansas. I'm gonna come hang out with the new head groundskeeper out here. I'm gonna see all the work he's doing to this place. The behind the scenes of a real golf course. So I guess they're doing like a little 9-hole golf course out here. And the new guy is really fixing some stuff up. Check out the Jacobson triplexes over here. You got some Toro stuff off to the side. I think he's getting ready to spray something. I'm just doing a ride along with Michael over here. He's spraying some wetting agent. So he's having some problems with the irrigation system, I guess out here. So he's been working on that a lot, but says they're really like relying on Mother Nature and then, you know, hand watering as much as he can, which is crazy because their irrigation system is going nuts. Anyway, so he's out here spraying the wetting agent. This is just awesome. One of those bad boys is now on my list for whenever I have my own, like, you know, bigger golf course. Basically, he sets it, like there's a little thing on the, right in between the seats that shows how fast or how many RPMs you need to go. You set it at this speed and the pressure in the tank is calibrated to that speed. So he just goes, turns them on, you know, and it sprays across the green, turns them off when he gets to the other side, turns them on, sprays across. And I was like, that is amazing. That's one of my new wish list items for in the future when I have some kind of like big area to spray, because that is freaking cool. We're not hand watering, but manually turning them all on instead of just being able to have the control panel working. He's coming out and like manually turning them on and having to turn them back off like this. Michael, you showed me the winter kill. That's what I'm calling, that's winter kill, right? On the north side of a couple of these greens. But, so Michael's new here. This is Michael's first season at the First Tee here at Northwest Arkansas. So he's got some cleaning up to do and some things to fix. Tell the people here what you told me about your plan and what needs to be done to prevent that winter kill better this next year.
This November, I will put down like a 40% potassium. I'll do it probably about the second week of November, and then kind of move forward. That potassium will actually help with the winter kill. It'll help with the nitrogen to keep it from dying. Along with that, just kind of keeping the ground moist, and that it should take care of it.
Another note there was nitrogen. Going less on nitrogen. When's the last time you applied nitrogen in the summer?
The last time I'll apply the nitrogen will be about mid-July, and I won't put no more nitrogen down until I put the potassium. When I do put the potassium down, it'll be a kind of like a 5-0-30 or a 10-0-40. I won't go very high with the nitrogen. I'll get about 2/10 of nitrogen with it and about 1 pound of potassium.
So I was telling you, the pond, so he's got that buoy out there in the middle, functions like the thing in your toilet where when the water level's down, so he pumps out a bunch of water through the sprinklers. He said that this water will go down to where you'll see like 2 or 3 feet of dirt on the other side of the pond instead of where it's at now, like 6 inches in one spot, I guess. But anyway, when it gets real low, this pump, this is the well, starts pumping water back into the pond and fills it back up. So he can pump 400 gallons per minute out of the pond, and then it refills with the well. And they have the buoy system, so that stops the pump, because if it just keeps pumping, obviously it's going to overflow the bank, so there's a drain over there and that's just wasting water. So they've got that system set up, and I'm just like, awesome. Okay, so now we were spraying wetting agent. That's what we were spraying out. You were spraying out. I was just riding shotgun. But you were telling me he sprays out a couple different times a month, but different types of wetting agent. I'll let you take it from there.
I spray a penetrant and I spray a retainer. So the penetrant will just allow the water to penetrate and go through, and then the retainer will actually retain the water 2 to 3 inches into the soil. So I usually spray a penetrant twice a month and then a retainer once a month, but I'll spray it also with the penetrant at the same time. So it's every other time I'll spray the retainer.
So I told him, I was like, that's new to me, and I'm just a dumb idiot. You all know that. But basically learning that there are multiple different types of wetting agents, because in the homeowner, you know, in our lawn care industry, whatever, we get marketed wetting agents, but I don't think I've ever heard of anybody talk about 2 different types of them. So maybe that's something that's going to come up in the next couple of years as these fertilizer companies or these product companies catch on to this, and they can sell you 2 products now instead of just the one.
This right here.
Tell me this again. You got some dead spot here on your green. What happened here?
This right here is, you see where it's green here and green here? The person was actually standing just like this. So they were spraying either off or they were spraying suntan lotion whenever they would spray it, and they come over, the mist was actually hitting around their feet. That's the reason why that's staying green and those are dead.
So as a superintendent, you got to be like Sherlock Holmes and trying to figure out what's going on. And judging by the pattern, he figured that out. Someone was spraying some stuff on their legs. So here, what was the last thing we just talked about?
Talking about the fairy ring.
So we're talking about penetrant, wetting agent. So wetting agent that's a penetrant. And you said if you mix the fungicide with the penetrant wetting agent, then you take it from there.
You can, if you're after diseases that are in the root zone, and you take a penetrant and you say if you spray it at an ounce per 1,000, then you spray your fungicide with it, it'll allow that fungicide to get down into that root zone to do what it needs to do to protect the root system.
So you said that fairy ring specifically, like the fungus is pretty far down, you know, maybe right. How far you say, like
it can be up to 2 to 3 inches.
And so if you turn on your water, and if the active time for that fungicide is, you know what, a couple weeks or something, and you don't water it down that far, it's not going to kill that fungus, and you're still going to have fairy ring because you only watered it down half an inch or only got down that far in the soil. But a penetrant can help it get farther down.
Right.
So then we started talking about spring dead spot. And said spring dead spot's different.
Yes.
And so tell me what you said about that.
Spring dead spot is basically, it's almost like winter kill, but it happens during the spring. And it's usually a low nitrogen area.
Low nitrogen, or you said?
Low nitrogen.
So it's pythium?
Pythium is always in the ground. I mean, you're never gonna get rid of the pythium blight. The pythium blight or the actual root rot pythium, it's always going to be in the ground. So you have to go at the root zone in order to protect it from. Now pythium blight happens on top.
So that feeds off of nitrogen.
Yep.
But spring dead spot happens in areas of low nitrogen. Mm-hmm. So there's a balance here we gotta try to find. So spring dead spot then, best way to prevent it. Just give me the, 10-second quick tip there.
Basically you have to, I mean, there's no really way to know where spring dead spot's gonna come up. But you can actually, if you see spring dead spot in an area, then you can spray a fungicide that we have on the shelf. Even though it's got a 10 to 14 day life on spring dead spot, it actually will stay in the ground a little bit longer and protect it from that disease.
So when should you spray that?
That should be sprayed in October.
Okay. So
right before it goes dormant.
Right before the grass goes dormant, you spray for spring dead spot. I need to do that. I've got a couple spots in my yard. So Michael was the superintendent at a golf course here called Stonebridge, which has been a nice golf course. We've golfed at. Left Tool and I have gone out there with our friends, and that's been one of our kind of go-tos. One of these golf courses we think this is pretty nice, and then come to find out, Michael was the superintendent for the last 5 years. Is that right? So you're the superintendent of a nice golf course. I mean, in town or whatever that people know about, and then the first tee, this little, kids golf course comes to you and says, we want you to work here, or you came to them, you were looking for the job, the opportunity came up, however that happened. What makes somebody want to leave the superintendent life to come to little First Tee Northwest Arkansas golf course?
I've been doing this for a long time. Been doing it for 28, 29 years, and I got to do big name golf courses, and I got to be with adults. I have 3 kids. I love my kids. I love everything about kids. So I came here where this was just strictly for kids, and I wanted to give them the same thing that the adults have at these higher end golf courses. I wanted to give the kids the same thing. I gave them striped fairways. They have just a little 9-hole course. Got all their greens to where they can putt on them. And just giving them an experience like the same experience that an adult will have at a bigger golf course. And then, we talked a little bit about the life of a superintendent or a head groundskeeper at like an NFL stadium or something. It's not a part-time gig. No. So a superintendent of a golf course,
you were busy, and that was part of the decision too, right? It was kind of an easy decision for you based on the time that you'd have to spend.
I actually, you know, worked when I was at Stonebridge. I worked 101 days straight, and I worked 10 hours a day. So I got to deal with the adult side, and so this came up for the kids, and so it gives me time with my kids now, and plus I get to work with kids and give them what they want. So pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I've brought Little Tool out here, and we've got done some lessons with Maria Fossey, and Fossey's friends comes out to the First Tee Northwest Arkansas. Maria Fossey is a professional LPGA golfer, so that's pretty cool to have that opportunity for him. And he loves it out here. He's had a lot of fun in the lessons, and so we really appreciate everything the First Tee does and the behind the scenes. That's been one of the missions of the Lawn Tools here on our channel, is to shout out the people who are sort of the unspoken heroes of sports, and in this specific circumstance, the unsung heroes of something I think is really cool, the First Tee, the superintendent, the new superintendent here, Michael. So we do appreciate it, and thanks for having me out here. This has been a lot of fun. I get to bug him, and he'd probably slow him down. He's not getting as much done as he normally would, but I do appreciate it. And I've gotten some tips, and hopefully you guys have learned some things too, because this has been like drinking through a fire hose. He's been talking the whole time about all this stuff he's doing. I'm like, oh my word, like this is a whole like 8 levels ahead of what we're doing as homeowners on our lawns. So it's just been super cool hanging out, and I hope to do it more in the future. So thanks again, Michael. All right, so thanks again, Michael, for having me out. I did just want to tell you guys to look into the First Tee. This is a nationwide thing. There are First Tee locations all over the place. So if you have kids, somewhere that you should get involved. Again, Little Tool loves it. But also, if you're the type of person who's looking for something to donate to, the First Tee is a nonprofit organization, and you can donate to the First Tee as a whole or your local chapter. If you don't have one and you want to donate to mine's the First Tee of Northwest Arkansas. You can go find them online, and donations are always obviously appreciated because they've got lots of grass to take care of out here and lots of kids to mentor. So anyway, hope you guys have a great one. This was a lot of fun. See you later.